Hello, hello, hello. I'm a little hoarse today, so sort of bear with me here. I wanted to ask, should a rapist be president? This is my question to y'all. And so I would love to have everybody's feedback. Um, that's just like people coming out of prison that have raped. Do you think they ought to be able to run for president? Um, Even our former president has been accused of raping E. Jean Carroll. E. Jean Carroll. Should he be able to run for president? Do we even want a rapist as president? So, this is my question to everybody today. So, let's get started. All right. Ex President Donald Trump has been accused of rape, sexual assault, and harassment. So I'm asking everybody, excuse me, I'm hoarse. So I'm asking everybody, should a rapist be president? The judge said Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll, even though he was found liable only for sexual abuse. So the jury found him liable for sexual abuse, but then the judge come back and said he raped her. That's deep. That's real deep. So they wanted to appeal it in front of a federal judge to dismiss Donald Trump's request for a new trial. He dismissed it. He said, "No, you're not getting a new trial. It is what it is." Um, he dismissed his case, his request for a new trial, and this was in a civil case where he was liable for sexual abusing and defaming colonist Eugene, Eugene Carroll. Donald Trump was ordered to pay $5 million to her in damages, which he argued that he felt that was excessive. His attorneys argued that he felt that the $5 million was excessive. But the judge come back and left it like it was. He wanted to say it was a witch hunt, like he do everything else. Everything is a witch hunt. Um, and not only did the judge come back, he come back and say that he raped her. even though Donald Trump said it was a hoax, it was political. He felt that she was doing it political, but she would have never came after Donald Trump had he not lied on her and said that it was a hoax and that she was lying. So that's when she filed a civil suit against him in October 22, because it was posted on his True Social platform. And he was just saying that she was a liar and she didn't want to be called a liar when she knows she had not lied. And the jury found Trump guilty of battery. Um, and the judge said it was rape. He's guilty of rape. And that is deep. And I know he's running for president, but do we want a rapist for a president? That's something that every America should think about. Because if that's the case, then people can come out of jail and just go and rape somebody. I mean, you got rapists in jail. Can they run for president? Do you think it's right? I would like to know your opinion. But Trump is, the judge dismissed his case. He's going to have to pay those funds to her. Um, Even though Trump lawyers wanted to have it reduced to 2 million in damages, but the judge said no. He's going to be required to pay her the 5 million in damages. So this is what I'm coming at. What is the meaning of rape? Rape is unlawful. It's sexual activity, most often involving sexual intercourse against the will of the victim through force or a threat of force with an individual who is incapable of giving legal consent, because they could be minor, they could have mental illness, they could be mentally deficiency, intoxicated, unconscious. And if you have intercourse with that person, it is considered rape. So let's look at the difference between sexual abuse and rape. Sexual abuse is sexual behavior or sexual act forced upon a woman, man, or child without their consent. Sexual abuse includes abuse of a woman, man, or child. What is the difference between sexual harassment and sexual abuse? Sexual assault is as much, it could be verbal actions. Sexual assault is an assault, but harassment could be verbal actions. It could be physical acts, unwanted touching, kissing, or groping somebody. Could be could be different types of sexual assault. But let's get back to this. Eugene Carroll, it was Elizabeth Jean Carroll. She's an columnist. She's an author and a advisory. She's wrote a number of books. So my thing is kudos to Judge Lewis A. Kaplan. Uh, he is the one who said that Trump was not allowed a new trial and that he was ordered to pay her $5 million. That was the verdict in a civil suit. So he dismissed, saying that he was going to lower that. The reason Trump lawyers argued is that Trump sexual abuse could be as limited as groping of a victim's breast. So I guess he was feeling on her. But the judge came back and said, no, he raped her. So I don't think the judge was playing in this case. And so what I did was looked at statistics. And the reason a lot of women don't come forth is because sometimes men or whoever can play it down. People can play it down, whether it's a man, a child, or whoever it is. And it's not right. 1 in 5 women in the United States experience some type of rape during their lifetime. Nearly a quarter, this is 24.8% of men in the United States experience some type of rape during their lifetime. Nationwide, 81% of women and 43% of men reported experiencing some form of sexual harassment and or assault in their lifetime. 1 in 3 female victims, I guess between the ages of 11 and 17, has experienced some form of rape or sexual assault. 1 in 4 male victims has experienced some type of attempted rape between the ages of 11 and 17, between the ages of 11 and 17 during their lifetime. So we're going to come back in and talk about the Judge Kaplan rejected Trump's team suggests that Trump was found liable for he was found liable for might have been as limited as groping of the breast. The reason Trump was not accused of that, so the only alleged offense that would qualify as sexual abuse was forced digitally penetration. Beyond that, Trump was accused of putting his mouth on Carroll's mouth and pulling down her tights, which the judge noted. And he said it was not treated as alleged sexual abuse at the trial. So the jury gave Trump a break, but the judge was not giving him a break. The judge called it what it was because he penetrated when he pulled her tights down and had sex with her. That was rape. And that's what the judge called it out to be. And so this is something that we need to be more mindful of. Um, just think every 68 seconds in America, sexual assault is taking place. Sexual violence affects millions of Americans. Young people are at the highest risk of sexual violence. Age group 15%, 12 to 17, 54% is 18 to 34, 28% is 35 to 64, and 3% for ages 65 and old. And this is according to the National Sexual Abuse Hotline. And I'm going to give this number because if anybody has been raped or experienced some type of sexual assault, you want to know your rights, you just want somebody to talk to, then the hotline number is 800-656-HOPE. That's HOPE. And I think it's sad um, that women and young girls experience sexual violence, just thinking that it's one in every six women. So that means if you're looking at six women, one of those women have been raped or molested. Attempted rape during their lifetime. That's millions of women in the United States have experienced rape. And a lot of times people don't come forward because of people not believing them. But here's Eugene Carroll. I just wanted to go over some slides. Um, and this was her doing her trial. And she was a beautiful young lady. Uh, Even though Trump said he didn't touch her or she wasn't his type. But if we look at her in her younger days, she's beautiful. Uh, she's aged and gotten older now. But back then, you couldn't tell the difference between her and his second wife. They look so much similar. So when he say he wouldn't talk to nobody, I think that was a lie. Definitely a lie. Okay, wait a minute. 25 women. That's a lot of women have accused Donald Trump of sexual assault, sexual harassment. So that could be groping, that could be touching them. And he said that in the tape that he has touched women and they'll just let you do it. And I'm like, well, no, they're not letting you do it. They're probably in shock that you are doing that to them and not knowing how to handle it. But these are 25 women who has came forth and said ex-President Donald Trump has touched them. That's a lot of women. So could everybody be lying? Maybe one or two, but out of 25, I don't believe everybody's lying. And so when you tell people that they're lying, this is the reason a lot of women don't come forth. it's because nobody would believe them. And this is what they do, they shut down. But sexual assault can happen to anybody. Um, let's go over how it makes them feel. Sexual violence can have long-term effects on their victims. The likelihood that a person who has been sexual assaulted, raped, um, some of them may want to commit suicide. They're depressed. 94% of women who are raped experience symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. That's PTSD. During the 2 weeks following the rape, 30% of women reported symptoms of PTSD 9 months after they have been raped. 33% of women have reported that they have thought about suicide. And 13% of women who was raped attempted suicide. Approximately 70% of rape or sexual assault victims experience severe distress because they have been attacked. 3.4 times more likely to use marijuana. And so most people that have been sexually assaulted or raped, a lot of them end up using drugs than someone that has not been raped. So a sexual assault can lead to people using drugs trying to cope with what has happened to them. And they're 3.4 times more likely to use marijuana, 6 times more likely to use cocaine, and 10 times more likely to use other types of drugs. It can affect their relationships with their family, their friends, their co-workers. A lot of people may feel withdrawn, don't want to socialize with people because a lot of them may feel it was their fault, even though it wasn't their fault, or somebody tell them that they're not telling the truth. "84% of survivors who were victimized by an intimate partner experience professional or emotional issues." And so a lot of people who experience this could really have, they're depressed a lot, which can lead to them using some type of drug to cope with it. Not including it could lead to also a sexual transmitted disease, as well as pregnancy. And so that's something definitely to think about. This is Donald Trump's second wife, and this is Eugene Carroll. They are so much similar. Uh, it's hard to say when he say, "Well, I wouldn't touch her," but she looks so much like your second wife, which means it's hard for me to believe him. That it's like he's not believable. So, what are your thoughts about it? Tell me what you think. Um, I enjoy your feedback. Definitely appreciate giving me your likes, your thumbs up. And I enjoy your comments. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, you're welcome to subscribe. I would love to have you. Uh, and I would love to hear your feedback. And I'm going to end this right here. But also let me know, do you think should a rapist be president? Donald Trump is running for president. Should he be a president? Some people can overlook it, but from the judge perspective, he's a rapist. So should we have a rapist as a president? What are your thoughts? Thank you and have a great day.